Good evening, everybody, and welcome to A Bard's Stories. Inspiration sometimes comes from the oddest of places. I was struggling between three different movies this week of which one to do the review on. Well, I had a conversation with a friend last night, and we both love cryptids, and Bigfoot came up. The Legend of Boggy Creek was first on my mind, but then I said to myself, no, let's have some fun. Let's discuss the reigning hide-and-seek world champion, Harry Henderson. So yes, my friends, that's what we're talking about tonight. The 1987 Bigfoot show, starring John Lithgow with Don Amici, an uncredited, and I do say that kind of lightly because he was the executive producer, but he was uncredited, Steven Spielberg, with great creature design from Rick Baker. Well, the plot is simple. John Lithgow and his family are out in the Cascades. George Henderson is John Lithgow. And well, on the way back, they hit somebody crossing the road. Well, who could this be?
What if it's him?
Who?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Holy shit! Sorry, Dad.
That's okay. I was looking for the right words.
Now, who would be known in the Cascade Range of Seattle and even Northern California, Oregon, Louisiana, Texas, Florida? Kind of everywhere, ain't he? None other than Bigfoot. Or as they come to know him as later on, Harry. He's not the big, scary boogeyman of the forest that many people are led to believe, but a peaceful, loving animal. And as we see when he sees Mr. Henderson's stuffed animal collection, because he is a hunter, well, Harry goes crazy a little bit. It's so funny to see that somebody would bring home a Bigfoot. And how would a Bigfoot adapt to living in your house? Well, at 8 feet tall, I can imagine, and well, we've seen it from the movie, that things might get rearranged. Could you imagine having Andre the Giant come live in a normal-sized house? That would be kind of interesting. But nonetheless, we have to have more to the story than just that. Though in itself, that would be funny and a great story. But well, we also have a hunter, Jacques. He's going after Bigfoot, played by David Suchet. And we have the great Don Amici, Dr. Willius Wrightwood, who has seen Bigfoot, searched for him all his life, and now runs a Bigfoot shop. I'm sure there's many up in that area. Well, Jacques comes after him. George tries to save him. And, well, we get Don Amici coming to tell John after he had went and visited him, George Henderson, that if anybody was to find a Bigfoot and take him home, it would be insane. They're in the dining room, and, well, Dr. Wallace is explaining all this. And Harry comes.
Am I missing something? Oh, Lord God!
Dr. Wrightwood, say hello to Harry.
And when Dr. Wallace turns around and sees him, he about faints. Well, Harry has an incident where he runs away during the film and is terrorizing the city, and a bounty's put out and horrible posters come out. And I know I'm a little bit out of order, But my God, I just had so much fun watching it this morning. Anyway, the story goes on, and they must take Harry back. And so they do. But Jacques there. Jacques wants to kill him so that he could finally prove, well, he could prove the existence of Bigfoot. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, although I'm sure many of you know already. It's a great flick. It went on a budget of $10 million back in the 80s. A lot of money. It made $50 million. God knows what it's made in syndication and video releases, because back then we did have VHS and beta, and since then all the other formats. I would guess that this movie's probably made its money back and a whole lot more. And it did have a great cast and a great story. It's not your typical Halloween movie, I will grant you that. It is a monster movie, and Bigfoot's a monster, depending on what version you believe. Boggy Creek scared the living bejesus out of me when I was a kid. Now I live in Arkansas. I've been to Boggy Creek a couple times. Boggy Creek in and of itself doesn't need a monster to be scary. That area can be frightening. And well, right below that is Louisiana and the Rougarou. So we got Bigfoot and we got a Wolfman, or whatever the Rougarou might be, in the same area. You tack on the voodoo from the Cajuns, there's a lot of spookiness down there. That's what makes life grand, the unknown, the unexplained, the mystery. And as my dear friend last night and I were talking about, well, it's fun to talk about, fun to imagine. I think that's what we need in this world again. Imagination. A little bit of spooky. A whole lot of fun. And just some great storytelling. Where have all the storytellers gone? Well, I'm going to point you to one tonight. Jed Morgan. He's a good friend of mine. As some people know, I've done some collaborations with him, done some videos with him. He's a published author. Odyssey of the Phoenix is one of his books. Go check it out. Other books and movies that are out there, many of them. Pick one up. Start reading again. That's where the entertainment's at. Go back to these old movies. Oh, they're so good. John Lithgow. Wow. A story about Bigfoot that was not a spooky, scary, over-the-top drama, but just a good movie. A good family movie. I'm recommending it to everybody. If you haven't seen it in a while, pick it up tonight. Go find it. Watch it. Have a good laugh. It's Bigfoot living in somebody's house. What could possibly go wrong? And until next week, you have a great evening, and we'll see you Monday.